Flashcard set 7.5, Disaster Risk Knowledge in Nepal. As you view the reading of this passage, you'll notice several lines of text highlighted as bold-faced type font. What I want you to do is garner meaning from these specific selections of text in order to support the correct answer choice for the reasoning beyond the text question that follows. Okay, this question will want you to demonstrate that you know how to extrapolate ideas in the passage to the new situation presented in the question stem. And you'll have to demonstrate that you have an understanding of the assumptions underlying the article and how the new information in the question stem will shift the central thesis. All right? So good luck and happy reading. Paragraph 1. Disaster risk is expressed in terms of potential loss of lives, deterioration of health status and livelihoods, and potential damage to assets and service due to the impact of existing natural hazards. Disaster risk reduction is a systematic approach to identifying, assessing, and reducing disaster risk, and it helps minimize the vulnerability of a society or community. It also prevents or mitigates the adverse effects of natural disasters, facilitating a sustainable development process. The Second World Conference on Disaster Reduction, held in Kobe, Hyogo, Japan, in January 2005, which adopted the Hyogo Framework of Action, HFA, 2005 to 2015, building the resilience of nations and communities to disasters. It has provided a unique opportunity to promote strategic and systematic approach to reducing vulnerabilities and risks. HFA states that all countries must use knowledge, innovation, and education to build a culture of safety and resilience at all levels. Moreover, it suggests that disasters can be reduced substantially if people are well informed and motivated about measures they can take to reduce vulnerability. Poverty drives people to live in high-risk, marginal areas of mountains, river valleys, of disasters in underdeveloped or developing countries. DRR is particularly important for sustaining the attainment of all developmental goals, since it provides a safety net for the hard-earned development gains of a developing country. In Nepal, it is a great challenge to protect infrastructure and public and individual properties from frequent landslide, flood, and earthquake disasters. Each year, hundreds of people are killed and a large amount of public and private properties are destroyed in landslide, flood, fire, and avalanche disasters. Each large-scale disaster sets the country back several years in terms of the development efforts. When scarce resources such as time, energy, expertise, and funding are suddenly diverted in relief and recovery work, the overall developmental activities are delayed significantly. Paragraph 3. The disaster statistics in Nepal always motivate and justify the urgent need of DRR works in Nepal. Therefore, Nepal has also adopted HFA, and so far the government of Nepal has formally adopted policies guided by DRR and implemented the DRR in its various development as well as education programs. In Nepal, the World Disaster Reduction Campaign of 2006-2007 was initiated and many programs such as school curricula for disaster risk education, community-based disaster management at the village level, disaster mitigation plans at the district level, etc., have been implemented. Similarly, raising awareness within school communities is a well-implemented program in the schools of Nepal. This awareness activity includes training of teachers, organizing disaster quiz competitions among schools and local youth clubs, school contests on disaster risk knowledge, campaigning for disaster safety in communities, and turning school students into catalysts and initiators in many more community-based disaster awareness activities. Data shows that since 2006, the impact caused by natural disasters in Nepal has not improved. This information affects the passage by A, strengthening the author's statement about Nepal being disaster prone would be correct. B, strengthening the argument that Nepal needs strategic approaches to natural disaster prevention. C, weakening the passage because DRR has been implemented in Nepal since 2006 with no change in the extent of damage post-disaster. Or D, weakening the claim that poverty causes disaster. I'll give you a moment to think. Definitely press pause and open up a second window to view the reading of the passage if you need to. All right, so hopefully by now you're able to arrive at the correct answer choice. And if not, that's totally okay. Let's look at how to go about solving this now. Okay, so the formatting of this question is reasoning beyond the text. And what it wants you to do is extrapolate the ideas in the passage to this new situation of data introduced. It's important to consider that the passage focuses on disaster preparedness and prevention in general, not simply on whether Nepal has a need, making the options that focus on Nepal solely less relevant. So answer choice A and B, I'm thinking they're a no-go. Okay. The author claims in paragraph 1 that disaster relief reduction, DRR, is an effective strategy for mitigating the devastation of natural disasters. The author mentions the various programs implemented in Nepal in paragraph 3 as a measure that help address the natural disaster problem faced by the entire country. Okay, so in the same paragraph, paragraph 3, the World Disaster Reduction Campaign is mentioned as it was initiated in 2006. And yet the question poses that there has been no meaningful difference in the extent of devastation, okay? This would weaken the author's argument that such strategic and systematic approaches are effective. Not really to do with poverty. So I'm thinking answer choice C is the correct answer choice. Weakening the passage because DRR has been implemented in Nepal since 2006 with no change in the extent of damage post-disaster. Okay? All right.